In fact, I was amazed at the amount of zombie variety. And as you slaughter the zombies and you cut off their torsos and everything, their legs will still be coming after you, much like the Black Knight and Monty Python. You know, they'll just try and kick you. Which is weird the first few times it happens, and then eventually gets annoying because just when you think the zombies are dead, you have to hit them one more time. Which does lead to one of the more interesting mechanics in this game, is that your sword, there's a separate little bar for it that will fill up with blood as you slaughter zombies. And when your sword is completely engorged with zombie blood, it swings a lot slower and it tends to get stuck in them, which holds you in place, and the rest of the zombies will then all just swarm in on you and just mow down. Which is interesting. I mean, it's one of those things that if Dead Rising had something like this, I could really believe it, because it's a realistic take. If you're slaughtering zombies with a sword, eventually your sword is going to become completely covered in zombie blood. It's more annoying than anything in practice, though, because it means you have to stop your combo, stop your slaughter, hit the LB button, and wipe your sword clean of blood. Completely pauses everything that you're doing, makes you a complete target. Again, it's an interesting idea, but in execution it's really irritating. Equally irritating is the camera. The camera in this game is one of the worst I've ever seen. And I've played Operation Darkness. But this camera, it follows behind you until you turn to go down a corridor, and then all of a sudden, the camera's looking back at you, and you're heading into it. And it's really confusing. It'll completely throw you off. Trying to aim at zombies with the guns is nearly impossible. You have to lock on if you want to hit them with guns, and even then the guns will jam up, so you have to let go of the button and press it down again. Again, realistic, irritating in practice. If I'm playing Bikini Samurai Squad, I don't want realism. I want bikinis, swords, and lots of zombies. That's all I want. Apparently this game is also, it's a long-running series. This is simply the first one that's made it over to America, which makes the plot, I have no idea what's going on. I have no clue. There's two sisters, and blood makes them more powerful. Their blood is powerful. And at one point they get saved by some cop lady that also has this special blood. And they keep running into all these people that want to kill them and steal their blood. And they're making all these mentions of past meetings and everything. I'm pretty sure if I've played the previous games in the series, I would really appreciate this one. But I don't even know what system they're for. I'm sure someone's going to tell me after this, but I don't know how to find them or anything, and I don't really want to play them. But yeah, the story makes no sense. Don't bother. Just play to run around and hack up zombies. That's about it. And for love of God, do not play this game for achievements. The achievements, you have to grind out each and every one, and that just gets really annoying. And some of them are so difficult that I know a guy that's done the survival mode in Dead or Alive 4. Alright, he's gone through 1 to 100, winning the whole way through, and he cannot pull off one of the achievements in this game. And if he can't do it, you're not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to be able to do it. It's just that simple. Still, though, it's a lot funner than I expected. And again, I really want to make fun of it. I really do. But I can't. Not yet, anyways. Give me a little bit of time. We'll see how I feel about it in about 2 weeks. If I still, enjoy it as much as I do now, probably still won't make fun of it. But I might turn around and start hating it. It's been known to happen. Speaking of games, that first time through, they were a lot of fun. Second time through, they really suck. Let me show you. Warhammer Battle March. Speaking of, real-time strategy games on the 360. Warhammer Battle March, for the PC, I bought it the day of release. I was one of 2 people in my city that actually pre-ordered this game, which is really sad when you think about it. But yeah, I pre-ordered it. I love Warhammer Fantasy. Here's one of my ogres I did up for Warhammer Fantasy, actually. I've got a Skaven army, 3,000 points. I've got an ogre army, 2,000 points. Love using them together. Works out great. But the point is that I know Warhammer Fantasy. I love Warhammer Fantasy. This game is a pretty good depiction of Warhammer Fantasy, but the one thing it really, really fails at is the controls. I'm actually going to demonstrate for you just how bad the controls are in this game. This is a wireless 360 controller. Now, I'm going to show you the sort of finger gymnastics you have to do the most basic of commands in Warhammer Battle March. Step 1, move around the camera, okay, then move around your cursor. 2 separate controls, and this does not look right. But this is what you have to do. Find your hero unit. It's a big part of Warhammer Fantasy is the heroes. Same deal as Warcraft 3, which totally ripped off Warhammer. Same deal. Superpowered individual units. Alright. You have to move these around to select your hero unit. Alright? You select it. A button. Alright? So let's say you select your hero unit. You move around. You select them. Alright, you gotta move back to a unit that you want. And wait. You gotta select a unit. Okay. Alright, hit A again. Alright, now you should have the unit selected. Oh crap, that deselects our hero. Darn. Let's go back and reselect the hero. So you go back, move back, you select the hero. Alright, now you have to hold down the right bumper. You hold down the right bumper, it brings up a little screen in the upper right hand corner. That's basically like a poor man's radial menu. It's horrible. Alright, so now you bring up the bumper and gives you options for your hero beyond the normal skills. Alright, so then you bring that up and you have to then hit the Y button while holding down the RB button, otherwise it'll deselect everything. Alright, so you hit that, select the option to add them to a unit. Then, you move your little cursor on your camera over, select the unit that you want, add them in, like so. Now, that doesn't seem so bad, does it? Here's the problem. It's a real-time strategy game with a very zoomed-out camera. Good luck finding the individual heroes, selecting them, adding them to a unit, and then controlling the unit when you have up to 3 heroes in a battle. And I've maxed out using a Skaven army with about 30 units on the battlefield. Trying to control all that while doing all this is crazy. Because, I mean, you have to hit the RB, select the radio menu. Might not be the radio menu that you want. Might not bring you the right controls. Oh, crap. Hit RT. Hey, it's a different menu, different options. Unit formations this time around. Awesome. Try and keep everything straight. And then you can hit the directional pads here, bring up a different menu, which lets you see an overview of all your units that you have. Takes up the complete middle of the screen, blocks everything out, can't see through it. Try to use that to select your units faster. Doesn't really work. Try and use the hotkey buttons and try and use your items. Pain in the ass. You're going to miss. You're going to mess up. Constantly. Totally not worth it. Which is a shame because on the PC, Warhammer is actually pretty good. I mean, you've got the mouse and the keyboard, easy to move around and everything. I actually really enjoyed it for the PC, cleared all the campaigns and everything. On a 360, I'm barely into the Empire starting campaign. It's really hard to motivate yourself to get through this game. As much as I want to like it, I can't. It's the opposite of the OneChanbara problem. This is a game I thought I would like, and I hate it. Despise it even. In fact, the only reason it's still around is because I keep telling myself I'm going to go back to it and I'm going to really play it one of these days. Yeah. Probably not going to happen, but I keep deluding myself anyways.